All right, so let's talk about Pokemon Legends Z-A. Now, I'm very excited for this game, and it might be this Pokemon Swan Song for the Switch One. It might not, but so far, what we've seen from it, it definitely is a complete departure from what we've come to know as mainline Pokemon, and even Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, I really liked Legends Arceus. I think Legends Arceus really opened up Pokemon in a new world, in a new way. And I know that's been in development for quite a while. Now, this particular one, now we got to see a lot more stuff in regards to, how the Pokemon battle is going to behave, how the wild areas are going to be. I think a lot of people was a little bit miffed that like the city setting and the fact that we only have like controlled wild areas instead of like a fully open world thing. But like even if you look at it, like having these constrained settings means that the Game Freak is able to like do more in that little space. And these, while again, yes, I know that we have a lot of um, not very aesthetic um, aspects of the game. Like yes, the 3D models are a little bit meh. The buildings are a little bit meh, especially as you look more further down the horizon. But I think that for what it's worth, I think it's actually pretty decent. I mean, can they do better? Obviously, 100%. You are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You are the best, the highest grossing media franchise in the world. You can fantastically do better. Now, I'm going to have to defend Game Freak a little bit here and say, listen, the fact of the matter is that large companies are not as nimble as very tiny ones, And I don't just mean that in the direct competitors, I mean that in general, right? Like, it's going to take a while for Game Freak to be able to go up the chain. So I'm sure people at Game Freak wants to do a lot more, but again, bureaucracy, how that works out. Now, I'm not defending Game Freak or anything, especially in particular with their bad practices, etc., etc. I just want to get that out of the way because I need all you to understand that I am very, very excited for Pokemon Legends Z-A. I did not play this particular, the original, Luminosity, XY, Black White. I honestly, I don't remember. I don't know where this came from. Um, there's a huge portion of my life where I did not get to play any kind of Pokemon games. And the very last one that I was able to sit down and play was Ruby Sapphire Emerald, and I played that literally for years. And then following that was not Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield. So I had a pretty huge jump. Now, backing up because I am rambling. I am sorry about that. I do think that there is a lot here. I like the fact that we are in a more city area. I do like the fact that we seem to have a lot more control over the customization of our characters. I would like to be able to customize some of the Pokemon, like, give them some of the little like armbands, the necklaces, the change that we see in the Pokemon anime. I think that this is a really good game to have that because, it is a city, it is a more fashionable city. I hope that we do get a lot more outfits, a lot more colors, a lot more stuff. And I know that this ranked battle where you go up from Z to A, that's your ranked mode, I guess. I mean, that's your side quest, I guess, what it is. That seems definitely pretty interesting. I hope it is balanced more towards casual players rather than to higher level players, but with enough challenge that it still is able to hold. Now, the truth is that um, I do think Scarlet and Violet was pretty easy because I was able to do a lot of stuff, not like just using the rock paper scissors. And I do hope that with this new ranked mode, as I was saying, it will go up to like it will be more difficult. And I do think that while having it more climatized to to more casual individuals, but the difficulty is there. I do like how that I do like the fact that we're getting back Totodile. Like Totodile is one of my favorites from Gen 2. I'm a little bit sad that Cyndaquil isn't here for obvious reasons. That sucks, but hey, I so obviously I'm gonna be picking Totodile straight up. Now, I do hope that we get to see Pokemon like interacting more with the world. Like when you're off of the wild areas, like just like how they had stuff in the trees on the lanterns. Oh, I forgot what that is. Uh, street lights. My bad. Street lights. And then you have this set between daytime where you get to go and catch Pokemon and you get to like train up a little bit, and then you have the nighttime where more difficult Pokemon is there. There's where the battles take place. The battle royale esque things, and I think that's a pretty interesting way to delineate it, especially in the more controlled setting, more controlled environment. Um, but overall, and this being able to go on buildings, it would have been so good if you had rideable Pokemon that you could like climb up buildings and like jump around and run around. That would have been pretty cool, to be honest. I would like that, but that clearly not happening. I am very interested to see how the ranking system going to play out, going from Z to A. I guess Dai is our to be the very best, like no one ever else was. I do like the fact that Pokemon gets to walk around with their trainers. Now, this new time active system where you get to run around and you have to guide your Pokemon to different positions. Um, like this bubble beam thing. This bubble beam thing was like, oh, you dig below it. And I hope that there's more and more interactions with like move sets. Like if you happen to, freeze an area or burn stuff or I mean obviously I'm not thinking about it too much right now, but I do hope that sorry my voice went a little bit there. I do hope that there's more out of that experience and more out of that style of that more of that style. I think that'll be really good, really interesting, and I hope that we get to see more of it. Now, again, I'm not as invested in the story because again, I didn't really play X Y Black White, whichever one this came from. I never really played it again. Um, Maybe I should one of these days. Let me know if I'm a scrub for that or whatever, um, or a poser or whatever, whatever word everybody uses now. I don't know. But yeah, I think this is really good. I think that I know a lot of people like they're still on the fence of it. Is like more of a muted response. But I am hyped for it. Unfortunately, like obviously there's gonna be a holiday release, and I'm happy that they're giving the next generation of Pokemon some time to breed. I hope that they sort out their back end development, their systems and their processes, so that we could get more Pokemon games more frequently, but with a higher quality. And I know that we were spoiled because for like 10, 15 years, it was a Pokemon game every single year, constantly. And I think this is probably last year was the first time in a long time where we didn't have one. Hopefully going forward, they sort it out. Again, I'm still super excited, and I hope, and let me know what your hopes is for this game. What you think about Game Freak? I mean, obviously nobody thinks anything very well about them at this point, but yeah, let me know.